Well, the camera needs to be on for me to actually do a video, apparently. I didn't think of that. Sorry, I was distracted by a corgi who decided to use my foot as a bed just as I was going live. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Good morning, everyone. Can everyone hear me and can everyone see me right now? Because I had a little bit of a disagreement with my equipment here a little while ago. And corgi time. Okay. So you heard the corgi joke, so definitely. Okay. Good deal. All right, you guys can hear me. Let's say hi to everybody this morning. Hey, KP, Mike, as always. Skydive. Oops, C4, Loretta, winning streak. Oh, that was KP again. Oh, Rage Against the Machine, Johnny. Hello, hello, some random dude. And who else? Did I miss anyone in here? Yankee Watchdog. What's up? Hey, my favorite fellow traveler, Regional Sky Girl. We almost wound up on a flight. I'm assuming I was in your typical stomping grounds or flying grounds. Really, you're not stomping. But then I got redirected and wound up in a completely unexpected place because that happens. What's up? All right. Did I miss anyone? I just want to go say hi to everybody. If Wolfang, what's up, Wolfie? And yeah, it is corgi time. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Oops. All right, folks. Wow, I recorded a video which will premiere on Monday. I won't do a spoiler or anything regarding the targeting of a CEO in Germany, right? I recorded that one Friday for Monday. I'm like, oh, this will be a good topic because basically things are getting serious. And lo and behold, they tried to kill a presidential candidate not 24 hours after I recorded it. Mm. Hey, Hayes Gray, what's going on? Oh, and our favorite Navy chief. Who else is in here? Oh, Yankee again. So somebody, hey, I saw Captain Coral in there. I can't click on you because I can't see the chat anymore. Oh, here it is. So hello, Carl. I saw you there. You zipped by. Watchman, hello. Uh, all right. Hey, Wolfang again. And it's such an evil picture of Trump. Yeah. And so interesting point. One of the journalists on CNN, and I'm calling him a journalist because he actually did his job. They were having a little panel about this, right? All the talking heads, and he said, we have responsibility as the media, all of us. And I was shocked. I was like, whoa. He said, look, I'm not a fan of Donald Trump, but we have allowed rhetoric to go on saying he will end our democracy, he will end our republic, he will put people in jail, he'll deport you unfairly. We've used a lot of venomous, I think he used the word venomous statements. And in doing so, we painted a picture that enabled someone to, hey, militant, lash out or encourage someone to lash out. Uh, and he, well, good, I'm glad. And peace on his channel today. Check it out. Okay. Hey, militant. I saw militant zip by in the chat there. There he is. It could be. It could be a variety of things. But I did get a corporate email from our corporate security guys, because we have a team at our company, and it's a third party, like a contract security firm, and they'll email folks, especially guys like me who travel a lot, and they give us updates. So I get updates from like oddball places, but I can't show the email because it has confidential stuff on it, but I'm going to read what I can, just so you know. So this was as of we're the 14th. So today, at one, this was 2 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time, which is, I guess it would be last night our time. It said, continue to avoid the area of the Butler Farm Show Fairgrounds in Butler, Pennsylvania, in the coming hours for an apparent assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump in office 2017 to 2021. Earlier on 13 July, gunfire was reported during the rally by a campaign rally by Trump, who was speaking on the stage at the time. According to Secret Service spokesman, the former president is fine after he was quickly escorted away by his team. Shooter was killed, and a bystander was also killed. Multiple people were injured. Uh, it says several political leaders have shown solidarity with Trump following the attempt. Related gatherings denouncing the attack with potential for disruption or isolated incidents of violence are likely in the coming days. Most political demonstrations in the US at this time have remained peaceful. And the widespread unrest is not expected by this team. So this is a third party. These aren't government guys. These are like, hey, Pilgrim. These are more possibly. Yeah, it's the media hyped up. Yeah. So I have a hypothesis about that, uh, Mr. Hudson, and I really wonder because nobody's going to say like no politician, no Democrat, Republican, whatever. Like Obama is not going to go and say, okay, I'm going to uh, chief of my office go hire a guy to go kill someone, right? Because that accountability is too short, right? There's a line going from A to B, and now he's implicated. But it wouldn't surprise me if people somewhere in this leftists, they're not Democrats anymore, they're leftists. Democrat, my dad was a Democrat, like Kennedy. This is not what we have now. Who's to say that? Yeah, that's exact. Mike beat me to it. Who's to say that it wasn't targeted or they didn't have individuals reaching out to certain people, like they're, basically people monitoring all these chats and they have an agenda, even if it's not the official agenda of Joe Biden. And they say, you know what? This guy's really unstable. He keeps talking about killing people and doing this and doing that. Let's go mess with him. Let's chat with him on Instagram. Let's poke at him on TikTok. And they hit him on all the social media channels from different accounts and manipulate this guy. Basically, instead of like, MK Ultra involved drugs to coerce, if I recall correctly. I'm talking about professional gaslighting of an already unstable individual until, crackhead decides to go out and attack someone. Um, this is absolutely insane. And yeah, no, Mike, you're spot on. And Mike's put out a few good videos. I've caught some of them, but yeah, they do put you in an echo chamber, 100%. Hey, farmer, get prepped or get wrecked. Yeah, tell me about it. So I want to show the layout because Hayes Gray just talked about this. Uh, let me see if I can get it to come up. There you go. So this is a map. How the hell did they miss that, y'all? That's what, a couple of 100 yards? Now, fortunately, it turns out this guy was just a screwball. This wasn't a professional shooter. This wasn't um, this wasn't a combat experienced veteran because we might be preparing a funeral had it been that case. This was a numbskull who had a beef. He was a gamer and God knows what else he was. Mm, Sorry, guys. I'm trying to like be coherent here. But anyway, so that video we all saw of the people pointing at the shooter and a cop's like running over, like what the hell's going on? They were way the hell back here. The snipers we saw, you guys remember you saw there's a video of these two snipers, both with rifles, but one's on like a tripod on a roof. I think they were right here on this white building. So Trump was here. This was where all the people were, and everyone's like, "Woo!" And they had the grandstand. I guess was back here against these buildings because he was speaking out to the showground. They had cops out here, but they had nobody on these buildings. Like these buildings had Overwatch. This guy was looking this way, and as when they called in, hey, there's something on the roof. He turns around, and by the time they got their ducks in a row, this guy had already opened fire. So he fired back and smoked the sniper. Um, they should. This was an epic failure on the part of the yeah, 150 yards with a 5.56. They had crosswind. Again, it's an experience thing. If he was a knucklehead, he bought a gun. He put a scope on it. Maybe he didn't sight it in right. He didn't practice much. He didn't understand windage, the effect of winds on a light round, whatever. It's by the grace of God, truthfully, because he was aiming at his head clearly because he hit him in the ear. Um, Trump being of in good shape and being very animated made for a moving target, right? Because he kept doing this and he was jumping around, and the guy probably tried to time it to catch him going one way, and Trump went the other. And but look at that. How could you not have had someone up here? Now there were cops down here. They had all this cordoned off, and they had this cordoned off. He came in with the crowd, and he assembled. I guess he assembled it on the rooftop. He kind of snuck in here somehow, but he was bear crawling. And there were two people, at least on social media, two civilians saying, "We saw this weird guy on the roof, and we thought he had a gun." Neil, absolutely. There's the other factor, maybe not a failure by the Secret Service. So there are reports out now that the what's her name? Kim, not Kim Woods. Kim Woods is a geology scientist. Oh, for flip's sake. Kim something is the director of director of Secret Service, the D DSS or whatever she's called. They've made repeated requests for more security. They were denied, and now the Crenshaw and a couple others have already issued a subpoena for her to testify at the House. Um, could it have been an inside job? Definitely. Could it have been what we're witnessing is different elements within our, and here's another hypothesis for you, elements within our own government fighting one another for power. Literally, we're watching basically shadow warfare internally in our government. But they manipulated this kid, right? The guy who's dead, the rifle he used, the position he was in, the way the shots flew. I have no doubt the guy they shot on that rooftop is the guy who took the shots. But how he got there, who turned a blind eye, who may have known and didn't catch it. So now the FBI is all over the place. And, the FBI is very hit and miss. You can get a great agent, you can get knuckleheads. Denied extra protection. As a matter of fact, the squad in the House, what I'm talking about, actually just passed, tried to pass a bill. It's still, and now it's stuck in limbo. Pass a bill called the denied or something, and it was right denial of extra security. Basically, they wanted to pull Trump's Secret Service because he got convicted, and it got hung up because of course everyone else in the house was like, what the hell are you doing? No. And they wouldn't let it going on. And the dude is absolutely right. My big fear, they did. I mean, what did Hudson say? Yeah, and true. And he does, but the Secret Service is in charge. But you keep in mind the Secret Service is in his vicinity, and then the perimeters are both Secret Service and local law enforcement. As a matter of fact, there is a video, and I don't know if I have it up. I'll show here in a minute. Where let me bring that back. So it's very interesting. There's a video of a bunch of people who were here, kind of listening in from the distance, and they saw somebody crawling on the buildings, and they're like, "That's not right." But they had to go all the way over here to find a cop. I don't know if you guys can see my mouse. Uh, I guess you can't shoot. Okay, there we go. Now you can see my mouse. So this is the shooter. The people were all out here. Trump was here. There was a grandstand behind him. There were a bunch of people actually got shot over here from the bullets that went through. Some hit the trees. Three people, one was killed. He got a headshot. There was a physician next to him trying to save him. Couldn't, obviously, that kind of injury in an open field is not much you can do. Um, but he was climbing around here, and the civilians saw him, and they ran and got a cop. So the two cops were running this way, and they called it in, and that's why these snipers had turned around, because they're like, what the hell's going on over here? But they couldn't lay eyes on the guy yet. until he popped up to take the shots. And when he started shooting, the spotter called him, and then they put rounds on him, and then he was, he was deleted from this plane of existence. Yeah, Kennedy complained that Joe denied him Secret Service. Well, yeah. Well, what we're seeing is exactly. Look, the SWAT guys in Houston. I did have friends. I wasn't a SWAT guy, but they were joking about how they were battling the cartel because the cartels were putting perimeters. Like when they did like a hit on another cartel, they would actually have sharpshooters out at several hundred yards, and then another set. And they were mimicking what the cops were doing. And he said there was an occasion where a Houston SWAT guy, a sniper, was positioning, then looks over and sees a cartel guy positioning. So he went over and shot the cartel guy like with his pistol. They were that close to each other. Um, it is. It is Banana Republic stuff. Uh, and either big cojones or absolutely the guy was absolutely nuts. So yeah, there is. I'm going to go into that as well. So anyway, I just wanted to lay out, give you guys a view of the layout because that was an epic failure. That roof had oversight of everything. Why was there not let me bring it back up for a second here, because I mean this is common sense. This is not like why where this gunman was. I would have had a sniper nest right on that taller building to the right. Right? I would have had a guy here with binoculars and a rifleman, and the binocular guy just walks around and scans everything. That would have covered all of this area. They had this covered, they had this building covered, they had all this covered, and then this they miss unless, and it may not be the agents involved, somebody decided. I mean, there's so much conjecture and hypothesis. The bottom line is that's a pretty bad failure. If we assume they tried to do their job, they didn't do it well. And um personally they should be there needs to be consequences. The Yeah, they did. Yeah, that's yeah, they should have had a drone overhead. um Even if Trump hired his own drone pilots, you can hire a drone pilot for a day for $1,000, right? And a guy like me, you got an FAA license, which I'm going to be working on here shortly. I got my recreational license, but I'm sitting there and I can stream it to a big screen. I can just have a cop sit next to me, and he'll be like, "Hey, go over here," and I fly my drone over there, and okay, go over here, and bzzz, there goes my little drone, and I just kind of give the guy eyes from above because you'd have seen that dummy in a gray T-shirt on a white roof. He would have stood out. You'd be like, "Who's that idiot on the roof?" And then the cop calls it in, right? Now you have footage of where the guy is. That, yeah, um, yeah, and that's another thing is, well, we had a civilian with a cell phone, and apparently what he said was his very loud wife who started screaming at the cop, and the cops looked, and then the cop was like, "What's going on?" And they started pointing at the building, so he starts running over, and he calls, "Hey, something's going on this building," and that's what turned the snipers around. So hypothetically, had that couple and those other civilians not said what they said, and the cop didn't call in, "Hey, there's something weird," that guy might have gotten a bunch more shots off before the sniper smoked him because the sniper turned around and was trying to figure out where the other guy was. And while they were scanning the rooftops and the two cops on foot were running toward the building, the guy came up and started opening fire, and then they fired back. There was an exchange, and then he was deleted. So uh, what scares me is there was another TikToker, she went on screaming. Remember the lady when Trump won with the glasses? They made a meme out of her, and she's like, "Ah," and she had that beanie. So this was a blonde girl with this way overdone makeup, and she's screaming, "How did you miss by 2 inches? What the hell? We could have solved all our problems." And so, of course, the internet attacked her, and now her account's gone. But to me, it's like, what the hell? Yeah, this is not how it should be done. It's absolutely right. So either someone did something on purpose or someone was absolutely incompetent. You hire someone to check a box instead of because they're good at their job. That's not acceptable, right? And this is the result. Then you have the questions: why did Secret Service refuse extra security? That's never been the case. Even if they don't have the agents, they would say, okay, we'll give you extra money to hire extra local police so you have more reinforcements around you. I'm trying not to go down the rabbit trail, even though in my head my gears are going bzzz, just like all of y'all. I do want to tell you what they know about this dimwit. Let me give you a second here. So his Matthew, hold on a second. All right, let me know if you, and this is on WTVR CBS 6. They are on YouTube, so if you want to go and watch it yourself later. This is 2 minutes, so I'm gonna play this. Let me know if you can hear it first.
Secret Service agents swarmed former President Donald Trump and rushed him off stage after a gunman fired shots during his rally in Butler, Pennsylvania.
We had what we're calling an assassination attempt against our former president, Donald Trump. It's still an active crime scene.
Trump said he was shot by a bullet that pierced the upper part of his right ear. On his Truth social media platform, he wrote, quote, "I knew immediately that something was wrong and then I heard a whizzing sound, shots, and immediately felt the bullet ripping through the skin." A New York Times photographer captured this image of what appears to show a bullet racing by the former president's head. The FBI identified the gunman as 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. They say he fired shots from outside the secure cordoned area of the rally, atop an elevated structure.
He starts shooting. Bow, 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 bow. About 4 to 5 shots rang out.
Law enforcement converged on Crooks' family's suburban Pittsburgh home overnight.
They asked us to leave our house. They told us it was a state of emergency. No warning. They just knocked on the door in the middle of the night.
Officials say the gunman fired 6 to 8 rounds from an AR-15 assault rifle before he was shot and killed by a member of the Secret Service counter-assault team. The FBI called it, quote, surprising that he was able to fire at the stage before he was killed.
We do not currently have an identified motive, although our investigators are working tirelessly to attempt to identify what that motive was.
Last night's rally in Pennsylvania was former President Trump's last before the Republican National Convention gets underway here in Milwaukee. Right now, plans are underway to expand the security perimeter around this venue. President Biden spoke with Trump Saturday evening. He condemned the attack.
There's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick.
Trump was treated at a local hospital. He returned to his golf club in New Jersey early this morning.
So, yeah, that was interesting. Hold on a second here. I'm going to close that window. I'm trying to see a few folks that were mentioning. Gerald, I don't see. I see you then. I'm going back. Because normally if like the algorithm hides I can't see it on StreamYard, but if they hide a comment, it'll give me a little flag like, do you want to allow this comment? But I'm not seeing it. But it won't let me go back past like 5 minutes on YouTube. That's screwed up. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything hidden. Hold on. If my mods can take a quick look, unless the algo ate it, because yeah, I can't really hide anything. Anyway, if you guys didn't exist until the truth started, yeah, that's true. So in any case, they do have a video of this idiot, the guy who did the shooting. Let me see if I can find him. I didn't have that one. Let me see if I can find this meathead. Oh, here he is. Okay, so here we go. This is allegedly the individual. Then it makes me wonder if they're trying to crush TikTok because they teach people dumb things. Chat that can cause okay, thanks, Robert. Let me know if you guys can hear this. Allegedly, this is the guy.
I hate Republicans. I hate Trump. And guess what? You got the wrong guy.
So he's
update. The FBI has just confirmed the Trump rally shooter is 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks. So just to repeat that, that is confirmation now from the FBI that the identity of the shooter is 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks, 20 years of age, just a kid. Now, this confirms what the New York Post had already reported about an hour ago with these accompanying photographs. There's that one there. That's the alleged shooter on the ground or on the roof, laying down on the roof, dead. 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks. That's with the relevant authorities standing over his bloodied face. The authorities were able to climb up on that roof.
So they're actually two guys. There's a more like a round face guy with a beanie. He made a manifesto just before the shooting. They've arrested him. Apparently, he snuck into the rally too, and they mentioned it in early reports. So, and that Rapture, that's what I'm. Yeah. So supposedly he was supposed to be either second shooter, or he was supposed to stab. I don't know what the plan was, but anyway, he got grabbed because he did something as the shots were fired. He did something that once all the security started moving, made them suspicious. So they grabbed him. And so allegedly he was supposed to be arrested as they deleted Mr. Number Two over on the rooftop. So the skinnier guy, the one you just saw, I've seen. I can't put it here because they'll block my video. Um, he's it's in Instagram though. You can see it. He was shot in the face, and what's left of his head looks like the guy I just showed with the long hair. But there was another person that was on social media that they said was arrested, and apparently he was in the gathering, and he got grabbed. So yeah, it's yeah, well, now he really has a narrow jawline. Okay, so not to be graphic, but the video of him, he's dead he's passed away on the rooftop, but his teeth are all over. And I'm like, what the hell happened? Did they punch him? Then I realized that's the entry point of the sniper's round was somewhere here. Like once the sniper put eyes on him, it was done. Um Guy looks like the shooter is Maxwell Yearly. And see, we don't know. So that guy may have been on one roof. There might be other stuff involved. The sad thing is they won't tell us everything because then it could reveal stuff. Supposedly, when the cops got up there with the tactical guys, he had a rifle up there. Um, Apparently, he wasn't super competent or anything, but it was, hey, MMS, wait, she snuck in on me here. Hey, Shore Skeptic, what's going on? What's up? That chick on TikTok's boy. Yeah, that's oh, I gotta find the TikTok chick. Uh because that screwball of a person, uh that's a that's a special kind of stupid from that girl. I can't they don't have it up anymore. She may have gotten canned. Which would be funny. Actually, it would be very funny if they canned her. Um I don't know if I can find her comment. If I find it, I'll try and share it on one of my shorts. But the girl was completely unhinged. She must have been about 22. And people were like, you shouldn't be mean. Hey, GMA Nana, you shouldn't be mean. I'm like, the girl literally just said she's upset that someone else didn't get their head removed from the rest of them because she doesn't like his political views. Like, but this speaks to the indoctrination of a large chunk of 20-year-olds. But most of them are not kids who've served in the military. They're not kids who could even qualify. If you see that kid that just was on that video, if he is the shooter, This is a weenie of a kid. If he had any competency, uh, don't be mean. Wait, I lost track of looking for like she probably well she got a lot of unlikes because the original channel she did it from is no longer there because probably like 10,000 people went and reported her channel all at one time. And TikTok, remember, these platforms are about business. At the end of the day, we can say what we want, and yeah, they lean left, they lean right, whatever, but it's about money, right? So if I spout off and they mute me on say YouTube and I get a legitimate court case going in Texas and Texas is like, "Well, we'll find you $20 million if you don't reinstate him." They'll be like, "Okay," and they'll just screw with my algorithms so that nobody can see me. But technically they reinstated me. It's all about the dollars. So this girl probably went up and then people were reporting her. And if any vendors were like, "We're going to pull advertising from you because we don't like what she said," JPW said they took her channel down. Well, good, because she's a dummy. Okay, see, and so there's a lot of overlapping. So when um, I went to school for active shooters when I was still in the guard because we interfaced with the cops a lot. So they stuck me in the class. I was like the two idiots in the back, and then all the rest were like cops. And most mass shooters are suicidal or they've gone psychotic for some reason. So they were already unstable or in an unstable state when they executed what they were going to do. Yes, absolutely. Um, the dollars. By the way, if you ask me a question in the chat, folks, the chat just flew by on me. There's a bit of a delay, and so I lost track of the chat. Another article I wanted to share with you, and I'm just sharing news. Y'all do your own research, yada yada. But this is interesting. Trump rally suspect had explosive devices in his car. So I think Rapture brought this up. Um, the man officials say tried to assassinate Donald Trump had explosive devices in his car, according to the Wall Street Journal, citing people familiar with the matter. The car was parked near the rally. People told the Wall Street Journal received multiple reports of suspicious packages near the shooter's location. Um, oh, and that's it. Okay, so I guess, and then they took the video away. So, all right. So apparently this guy came to cause trouble. Oh, no, it wasn't Rapture. Somebody mentioned it. So to have to go to the rally, but he was busy. So there were a lot of people. A shooter considered his own mortality when he went, or being a suicide. It's hard to say. Let's be super. Oh, the NSA is probably going nuts. The algorithm probably looks like the Matrix now, going down the screen. There's some 22-year-old analyst with too many monsters in his belly sitting there going, "Oh my God, these people." But yeah, interesting. How did they miss that vantage point? It's either incompetence or deliberate. It could be 50-50 at this point. A lot of rabbit holes to go down. So in militant, that's something that concerns me is this guy doing this, right? And granted, yeah, we had the January 6th riot, okay, which was a riot. Insurrections are what happened in Khartoum over in Africa. That was an insurrection. Basically became a civil war. Soldiers fighting soldiers, militias fighting militias, cities on fire. Um, Having a riot in the capital. Hell, they had a riot in the capital in Argentina. I went there on a business trip, and my corporate security guys were hitting everyone who was in that city on the phone, going, "Go to your hotel immediately." Riot broke out at the Capitol, and there were cops and protesters punching each other and throwing things. Um, but we watched cities burn all over the country in 2020. We watched them burn again during the Rona as well. And granted, some people were justified. They were like, "Hey, cop did this or somebody did that." There was some injustice, but then it stopped being about the injustice and it became about violence. It became about disruption of society, and that to me is disturbing. Now, what this knucklehead or these idiots did, um, in f- in doing, whether had succeeded or failed in hitting Donald Trump, is they've opened the floodgates. In my opinion, they've opened the doors. Have another coffee, Johnny Preps. Hey, Tuck. The media has a different script on buildings. Mm, everything is recorded. They got eight. Pete, we'll probably never know the real. No, we probably won't. But what concerns me is all the people like whatever his name was, Cody McMuffin over there on both sides. Now we're like, oh, this is what we can do now. And that concerns the hell out of me. Uh, point the script. Yeah. So think it can go in one of two directions, right? Either everyone goes, whoa, wait a minute, that's enough of this, and they stop and they try to go back to what we should be doing. Option B is the fringes start to antagonize the mainstream population. And when I say mainstream, not the media, I mean all of us, just people. And now people start acting out against others for fear of somebody hurting their families. Uh, that's concerning. This is how this stuff happens. Wolfgang, that's a very good question. Will there be a copycat? Will they decide? There you go. That'd be funny if, like, at FBI, Gov showed up in the chat and was like, "Hey guys, look, leaving a like." I'm like, "Oh, awesome." But that's something that concerns me. That would be I would ask that dude to come on and be an interview. All right, what the hell happened? Y'all screwed up. But I don't know. Do you think that would be a little too bold to reach out to an agency? Would you like to be on my YouTube channel, explain how you missed a sniper's perch during a presidential candidate's speech? That was pretty sad. What do you think? Then I'd wind up on a watch list. They have the terror watch list and then the asshole watch list. I'd wind up on the asshole watch list. I'm like, this guy's a shit. Just whenever he goes up, screw with his algorithm. They will sort it out. But they can only do that if the other agency doesn't hide all the evidence first, right? So it's kind of a kind of a chase. Uh, he probably should. Now, actually, because of his security team, his Secret Service people have actually been telling him, um, "We'd like you to wear body armor," and he's like, "I don't need it." And then they talked. I'll give his personal team credit, right? Because they're around his family all the time. They told Melania, "Hey, you need to tell him to wear body armor." So apparently Melania went to Donald and said, "You need to wear body armor in case the bad man, whatever she told him," and she scolded his ass. So he was actually wearing body armor. Uh, well, obviously he's not wearing a helmet because why the hell would you do that in a rally? But bubble car like the Pope. Well, actually, what they may start doing is putting up ballistic panels around him while he's talking. But now it would be justified. Now it wouldn't be cowardice. Now it would be, the president this guy got shot at, and so now he has protection. Um, I give Robert Kennedy credit, RFK, for coming up and saying, "This is what happened to my father. This is what happened to my uncle. They denied me security because he actually said, I think they want me out of the race, and I hope they get the security Donald Trump needs." So without endorsing him, he supported him indirectly, and I give credit for that. I wouldn't mind seeing RFK as Secretary of State. That would blow the socialist mind if he's like, you know what? Here's my vice president, but I'm gonna get like Crenshaw will do this, and I'll get Tulsi to do that, and like mix up the two parties in his administration. I think they'd lose their biscuits if they did that. Wait, what did Hayes Grace say? I don't know. Shoot, you should. You just go into random socialist chats and just start putting hashtag terrorism, hashtag violent. I don't know. Just start putting gibberish until they kick you off. Flynn for VP. Yeah, and honestly, they wouldn't. They could be mounted on, like a pedestal, if you will, and just put them in front, and then a couple on the sides, because they're mobile, right? So if trying to shoot through that Lexan, that's going to stop what everything 2-inch Lexan will stop up to what, just under a 50 cal, and it's not like you can conceal a Barrett rifle like that would be, but of course NBC did. And funny, even CNN was like, wow, this, okay, we need to maybe reflect on how we're talking about this election. And here comes, national broadcasting communists over there are like, oh, it's Trump's fault. Well, had they done that to Joe would have fallen down and soiled himself. I don't know. He would have just fallen off the stage. They'd have missed him because he can't walk anyway. Uh, that's terrible. I shouldn't say that. God, the Lord's Day, and I'm being all salty. And set him loose. Man, that would be a sight. These transparent barricades they're on my Powerball shopping list. Yeah, and they exist. Yeah, absolutely. I've seen them in use before. But folks, and hey, Amazing Grace, I wonder. Oh, you know what? That's a good question. You want me to go see if Dan Bongino, because he was a Secret Service guy. Uh, Emergency episode. He does have, ladies and gentlemen, he has an emergency episode out there. So don't forget to hit my like, and then I'm gonna go see what he has to say because it's a 20-minute video. It's not short. Um, but he looks like he starts the video, and he already looks normally very serious. He looks absolutely somber in this video, like what WTF is written all over his face. Um, that's crazy. Isn't that on Biden also Trump? Well, what's interesting is he asked for more security and he was denied. So now yeah, it's just going to be. Has he been tweeting? I haven't looked at Twitter or X, what it's called now. But well, folks, that's what they've got on the news right now. I would just tell everyone, be situationally aware wherever you happen to be. Pay attention to what's going on. Pay attention to keep your basics. Have your EDC, not just a pocket knife and your flashlight or your personal carry. If you're in the car or a purse or backpack, have a first aid kit, have a tourniquet. Um, have what you where to wear your face diapers. Yes, if you wear your face diapers, that will prevent sniper hits. That sounds like something out of Call of Duty. uh, but have your basics. Because we don't know if we're going to have people. Hey, Mrs. Metal, we don't know if we're going to have people reacting back from the right to the left. We don't know if there are going to be more people on the left going, "Oh, we can do this," and then they're going to lash out and create a backlash. Um, keep in mind, the American Civil War. I should do a video on this. The American Civil War was an anomaly where it literally looked like a war between two small countries, right? You had the South and you had the North, and they fought. They actually had lines and states and battlefields. A true civil war is not like that. It's more like what we saw in the Baltics, what we saw in Armenia, what we saw uh, in Khartoum in Africa, where it's town against town. It's this neighborhood gets 10 guys, they go over to that neighborhood and burn half the neighborhood down. So these guys come and fight with those guys. Um, I would recommend if you're out and about, do your homework. I do this every morning, or I try to. Weather. Here's my 3 tips: weather, um, activities, traffic, right? Or actually, I do traffic first. So you look at the weather. What are the weather conditions so you know what the hell to wear? What's the traffic looking like? Okay, because if you're in a car and you don't know there's a construction zone and there's an emergency and you get stuck in the said construction zone, you have a problem. And then activities. Is there going to be a protest? Is it going to be a march? Is it going to be a riot? Is Antifa, the Nazis, or the chupacabras all showing up downtown to have some whatever? If you go downtown, you go to work, whatever, in your car, have a sleeping bag, have some snacks. Like I would double up on your get home stuff, at least for now. Not to panic, but what if you go to work and like a riot breaks out? And you're like, well, I'm safe where I am because we have a fence or we're locked in a secure building, but I can't get home. Don't go on the street. Call the family, say, hey, something happened and I can't go out safely. So I'm sleeping in the office tonight. And I camp out in my shop. I'm like, "Pff, I got a potty, I got water, we got snacks, and I have the internet. And I'll just go to my truck, get my EDC stuff because I can't carry in the office. At that point, if a riot broke out, I would be carrying in the office. I'd be like, "You guys write me up. I don't care. That look what's going on outside." At that point, nobody'd care. I think ever be like, "Yeah, whatever. This is kind of out of the box." And I'd lock down the office, turn off the lights. Everyone go to the back of the building. We'll all just camp out together and hang out until the stupidity ends. Um, some cities is the purge already. Oh yeah, rage. This has been going on for a hot minute, man. Um, and you know what? The only reason I'd be scared of hurricanes for real. Yeah, it's yeah, the traffic's always awful. Unless you take the train, then you have, Kachuku Chuku peeing on the in the car, but in the subway car. But if you can deal with Kachuku Chuku and his running around flapping his arm, you should be fine. I could throw a rock from one side of town to another. So I actually did the map, and if my city's small, the two cities out here where I live, my little city, probably a little under quarter million people. So it's a good size, but it's surrounded by like nothing. It's all either energy, solar, oil, or cattle. Like it's way country. And then the other cities in the same boat. I think if I go from my office to my house at a 3 mile an hour pace, like just a walking pace, it's a 2 hour walk. So what I probably need to do, and then maybe in the next couple of weekends before it gets super crazy hot, is in the morning have my wife drop me off at the office, and then I get my GoPro and I video the whole journey back, or at least snippets of it, and try to make my way back with my EDC and with my kit and see how long it takes. What do I observe doing this? A YouTuber, she closed her channel. Sadly, she was doing good stuff. Hey, All American. Um, she did a video from downtown San Antonio to her subdivision. Her walk was 5 hours, and she did like clips, right? And then she put them all together. And there was one park she went through, and there was a homeless guy was like giving her a hard time, just like, "Hey, what are you doing, lady? Do you have money?" She's like, "Hey, you need to stop." He goes, "Well, I need to go north anyway." So then he starts walking with her. He's like, "So what's your name? Do you have a dog?" I had a dog, but he ran away. And he's just a chatterbox. And then somewhere he goes, "Okay, this is where I would this is the park I was going to buy." And she's like on the video going, "That was so weird, but he was actually a nice guy." Not 10 minutes later, here comes some guy, "Hey, baby," giving her a hard time. And she said, as a woman, that was very enlightening. She said, "I attracted a lot more attention than I thought." So something to think about, ladies. But also guys too, right? Do you have the fancy watch? If you are in a business suit, you may want to have a change of clothes. Don't walk home in a business suit. People are going to look at you. Walk home in a hoodie and janky jeans, and they'll look at you and go, "Oh, he just left work at Walmart. Leave him alone." You know. But interesting, interesting. Here, I sent to your phone. Please play the clip on 11 Mark for. Oh, hey, Alexandra. So anyway, hold on. I live at my bug out location. Still need to do some caches. Right, but you may need to get home. So again, having a cache somewhere hidden. Uh, Hold on. I lost the chat again. Check your phone. Wait. Was that for me, Alex, or was that? Hold on. Okay. No, I got it. I got it, Alex. I'm gonna post. Alexandra the Great just shared a video with me. I can't see it because I don't have my glasses, but I'll put it in my community page so you guys can watch. Uh, okay, thanks. Uh, the video is posted through. Oh, was that the guy who was talking about what he saw? Like he had some kind of dream or he envisioned something. I'm in a rough patch. Okay, I will do that, Alex. Thank you. Pepper spray, yes. If you are carrying a pew, practice with a pew. Don't just have it. Train with it. Go to the range. Sassy and I went to the range, and and her pistol's well broken in, and then she had a misfire. She had she had a hang fire, and then she had a failure to feed about 3 minutes later, and she's like, "Oh no!" And I'm like, "Rack the slide, try and clear it." And so we went through the clearing drills. So even when you're just doing regular training, you will have failures that can help you. Here in Alabama, they have. Yes, I saw that on the news, by the way. Yes, they do have ammo vending machines. Um, but I think you scan your license and it makes sure you're over 21, and then you can pick your ammo, and it goes ploop and it poops out the ammo. Um, but uh, folks, have your EDC ready, have your get home stuff ready, because if you go out and something happens, somebody gets hurt, I would dress to be able to move, because we don't know, right? This may end right here. This may encourage other idiots to misbehave. We don't know. But the good thing we can do is be ready. If someone gets hurt, we can give them first aid. If we get hurt, we give first aid. We can protect ourselves. If we have to camp out at Walmart, we have to camp out at the office, at work, because something has happened. We have what we need to get by for 24 hours until we get some daylight and kind of figure out where the hell we're going. Um, I know my office has amenities because we're an OSHA OSHA regulated, so we have the first aid kits and all the other stuff. So if I have to top off anything, I could do it at the office. I can fill up all my water. I can take extra water bottles. We even have, the little drawstring bags you give out at like conventions. I know where those are hidden. The marketing girl has a bunch hidden. I'll steal a couple of those, put extra water, attach them to my pack, and off I go. So, ooh, that's scary. I don't know about that facial recognition. I'll just scan my damn. Okay, see, now the ammo vending machine doesn't sound so cool. That sounds like Big Brother ammo machine. Uh Actually, whenever I travel away from my hometown, I bring silver with me in my pocket. I've actually had TSAs like, because one of the coins is really old and dirty, and he's like, "What's this?" And he looks at it. I'm like, "That's silver bullion." And most of them are like, "What?" I said, "Oh, it's my lucky travel coin." There was one older guy, gray-haired guy. He's like, "What's that?" And this, because it set off the machine. And he goes, "Oh, it's silver bullion. That's a nice option to have." Like he got it. He immediately. He's like, "That's a nice option to have. I don't see people do that too much anymore." I'm like, "Anymore? Wait, what?" So apparently this was a thing once upon a time. You took some gold and silver like John Wick with you. But in any case, have your EDC and get home stuff ready to go if you need to do it, if you need to jump, uh, or if you need to hunker down at work. There's nothing we can do about the bigger politics other than we vote. But remember, you can influence local a lot more than you can influence federal. Change your local if you don't like it, and it trickles up the food chain the way we're structured. That's why they keep saying we're a democracy, and we're not. We are a republic. You change your counties, you can change the state. You change the state, you change the voting districts. You change the voting districts, you change the color of the state. that changes Congress, right? They don't want us to know that. They keep saying we're a democracy. We're not a democracy because then we'd be the United States of Los Angeles and New York. And who the hell wants that? Hell, New York doesn't like Los Angeles. I mean, yeah, who wants it? So anyway, folks, you guys be good, be safe. Thank you, Yankee Watchdog. Thanks to all of you. Don't forget to hit the like, share, whatever, all the buttons. Do. Alexandra, I know you had to jump in and out real quick. Thank you for the video. I'll go check it out in a bit. And all of y'all, be careful out there, be safe out there, and have be ready. Just be ready for whatever the hell they throw at us. We've got this, and this is why we do what we do. This is why we trade these notes, why we have these chats. Yeah, 100%. And thank you, Rage. Yeah, but keep an open mind and keep a clear mind. Remember, get yourself squared away, then teach your family, hey, did you see what happened? If things escalate, this is why you should have a bag in your car. Now may be the time to just be very plain and say, hey, and yes, we are a republic. And by the way, Cold War Prepper does amazing videos on civics and the government structure. I've missed about half of them. If you check out his channel, it's a great video. Train, be competent with the tourniquet, the knife, the gun, whatever it is, and plan every trip you make, even if it's just to work. Check out your weather, check out the traffic, check out the activities going on your route. And that'll tell you what you probably need to have with you when you go. You guys be good. God bless. We'll see y'all later.